Welcome back. You are live with Expresso as we enter into the final stanza of the show. Time to inspire, to keep it local. We all know that probably the best way for South Africa to stimulate its economy is from within. And the importance of this is at, I think, the most paramount as we grapple with the unbelievably hard-hitting effects of COVID-19, the pandemic and the resultant lockdown. Now, since its inception in 2001, the proudly South African has placed the growth of a local business and brands at the forefront of its mission, and what a mission it's been on. They are celebrating their anniversary during the 9th annual Buy Local Summit and Expo that is currently taking place from the 8th till the 10th of March, and we are being joined via video call by the Chief Marketing Officer and good friend of the show, Happy Ngidi, alongside the founder of Masodi Organics, to share more about what we can expect, first of all, from this year's proceedings that have, like many, gone online, and why we need to be buying local. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And yeah, I hope you are both well during these crazy times and excited about the summit that's happening right now. So Happy, I'm going to start with you. Great to see your beautiful face again. 20 years is a big milestone to celebrate, even in the midst of the pandemic. What are some of the biggest achievements and strides that have been accomplished by your amazing organization over these 2 decades?
So I think, you know, we still have a long way to go. But I think in the last 20 years, we're at a place where we can see a big shift in our efforts trying to change the mindset of South Africans. We've come a long way where generally as a people, we're not confident, when it comes to our own local brands and local services. And it's been a journey, but there's a clear shift where there's a larger amount of South Africans that now have an appreciation of, what it means when we say, let's buy local, let's support local, because it's a global phenomenon. Every country has its own buy local movement, and so it's a good place to be, to see that many South Africans are starting to slowly have a bigger appreciation of what we mean when we say local is lekker, and the summit is really intending to do that, to showcase all sorts of things that are local, to try and communicate that narrative to South Africans.
And of course, we've seen the quality of local goods absolutely skyrocket as a result of this investment. And we really, as I highlighted in the intro there, the key to unlocking our economic future is making sure that we can inspire that local market. Obviously, these are not normal times, very difficult times to be hosting a summit. So how have you guys adjusted? What is going to be happening due to obviously the COVID-19 era and all of the restrictions that are taking place?
I think we had to remind ourselves to keep our eye on the prize. And the prize was that we were never going to compromise on the standard of the event. 9 years later, we have, a look and feel and a tone and manner to how, to what we put out in the public domain. And given the challenges around, where we find ourselves, given the pandemic, we still have had to keep, the brand, still keep, the credibility of the brand. The virtual type of setup has been quite challenging, but it's our first. Because we've always had a physical event. So the virtual part of it is our first. It came with its own pros and cons. But we're here now, and we're ready to show South Africans what South Africa can make by South Africans for South Africans. And we have a bumper, lovely program that is lifestyle driven. So there's a little bit of everything for everybody who's going to log on today. But before I get off that point is that, ordinarily we would have people walking to the Sandton Convention Center to come and attend the program, but it would be Gauteng based. But now, anybody sitting in the Western Cape, in Mpumalanga, in Limpopo, in Kunu, in KZN, anywhere in the country can log on to www.buylocalsummit.co.za and be part of this whole, what we call a local movement. So
I'm glad you used the word movement, because that's what we need, is that momentum. And yes, perhaps now we can connect to a far broader audience and market as well. Let's hone in on one of those brilliant South African offerings at the Expo. Liz, I'm going to bring you in now. Please, can you tell us a bit more about the phenomenal growth that has been made by your organization, Masodi Organics, since being established just 2 years ago in a vital area as well? Your mission to provide 100% natural hair and skin products to consumers here in the local market.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for how far we've come over the past 2.5 years. And I think one of the very interesting things that have shocked me, but also given me a huge sense of humility and gratitude, is just the support that we've gotten, right? From the consumer, from Proudly SA, and from some of the people and organizations that we've managed to partner with over the past 2.5 years. And I think essentially, what I believe, I'm in the business office, what I call revolutionizing beauty. The beauty standards that are so skewed in the world, the inequities of the beauty industry, right, over the past years. This is something that is hugely challenging. I'm very excited to know that I'm not the only female Black entrepreneur in this beauty space, especially in South Africa. And I think what a meaningful time, especially today, given that it's International Women's Day,
yes.
To feel celebrated and to see the progress that South Africa and South African businesses are doing from an entrepreneurial perspective, across the board, really. If you're looking at beauty, if you're looking at, from a food space, retail perspective, there is so much that is being done, and I think it's a very exciting time to be alive today.
And very much a part of what's driving this is the fact that we've taken this to a practical space now. It's not just about the notion of it, but we're seeing living proof. What is the support of Proudly South African done for you and your business? What does that mean to you?
I think the most meaningful thing that I can just think about from a Proudly South African perspective is just belonging to a sort of like a community that is adamant at driving, local businesses to succeed. To know that you have the backing, to know that you have the support of such an institution is something that is so meaningful for Masodi Organics, but also for other small businesses, right? For example, you go onto their website, you have things like a portal where they put entrepreneurship on, entrepreneurs on, so that your products can get out there. That's some form of access to market, right? And I think another thing that it just gives me a sense of is a sense of national pride. The reason why I want Masodi Organics to be a proudly South African product is because as a South African, there's a sense of emotion that is attached to that, right? To say this is a proudly South African product, conceived, designed, manufactured, and sold in South Africa is a huge part of what it means to be part of the proudly South African family for me.
What a badge of honor. Wish I could chat to you guys all morning, but I'm going to leave you with a massive good luck for all of your endeavors as you take the summit online. Thank you so much for joining us and inspiring us on International Women's Day today. Absolute pleasure being able to connect with two phenomenal women. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much, Graham. Thank you for having us.
Take part in the conversation around stimulating our economy during this very difficult economic period. And you can access all of the events, the keynote speakers taking place during the 9th annual Buy Local Summit and Expo for absolutely free. All you have to do is visit buylocalsummit.co.za and get all of the info. And while we celebrate women in business, why don't we celebrate one of our phenomenal leading ladies here on Expresso?